Good morning, scholars, and welcome to week 7 of our online learning. This is our sun and water cycle lesson number 2. So our joke of the day is I was water before it got cool, coming from an ice cube. And as we know, when water freezes, it turns to ice. So it's a joke playing on pop culture references. So as I said, we're going to be learning again about the water cycle. This will be lesson number 2. So do now. What were the types of systems that we talked about again last week to help us predict weather? Write down all the types you remember. You can pause the video and I'm going to keep going. Our TEK again is 4.8b. The student is expected to describe and illustrate the continuous movement of water above and on the surface of the earth through the water cycle and explain the role of the sun as a major source of energy in this process. And the learner will identify the different stages of the water cycle is our objective. So, let's review first the sun and water cycle unit vocabulary. Water cycle is the constant movement of water through the land, air, oceans, and living things. The sun is the star at the center of the solar system that provides heat and light to Earth. The sun is what makes the water cycle go. Without the sun, we don't have the water cycle in anywhere near the same way. There may be something similar to it, but this is the sun is the biggest reason that we have the water cycle we do today. Precipitation is rain, snow, sleet, and hail that falls from clouds in the sky. Evaporation is the changing of water from liquid to gas. Condensation is a physical change in matter from a gas to a liquid. Collection is an accumulation or deposit of water. An aquifer is an underground layer of water-bearing permeable rock or rock layers. And a reservoir is a natural or artificial place where water is collected and stored. Now let's review the stages of the water cycle. We should have learned this last week, so this should not be any new information. The evaporation stage is where water changes from a liquid to a gas and moves into the sky. This is due to heat from the sun. Check out the red arrow is pointing to the stage where water is changing and moving into the sky. Then the movement stage. Water moves in rivers or to the ocean, and this is where groundwater moves. So if you take a look here, this aquifer and these streams down here are moving into the ocean, so movement. Then we have precipitation. Rain, snow, sleet, snow, or hail falls to the ground. As you can see here, here is some snow falling to the ground on the top of these mountains. That we call those the ice caps or snow caps on mountains. Then we have freezing stage is when water changes from a liquid to a solid. And you can see here, these clouds with rain is changing to snow. The higher the altitude or the higher the clouds get in the air, the colder it is. And that's where we find our freezing stage. Then we have the water droplets forming stage, is where water condenses, all right? So you have water that evaporated up, and now it's condensing. It's cooler up there. So condensing and forming into water droplets that come together to form clouds. Then we have the melting stage, which is where water changes from a solid to a liquid due to the sun's energy. So as you can see up here, we have our snow caps, but it's melting because of the sun, our main source of energy. The water is melting and melting down the mountain and coming down and back into the ocean. Then we also have a rainfalls stage. So it's just where precipitation in the form of liquid falls to earth, which we can see here. Now, all of these stages have kind of been maybe seemed a little bit out of order, but the thing is that all parts of the rain cycle or the water cycle are happening at all times. So, although there is an order to it, there is water that is evaporating and raining down and forming water droplets and clouds and melting and all those things all at once. And that's why it's a continuous cycle that is using and involving all water systems in our environment. So that was a quick recap. Your assignment Go to your science lesson in Google Classroom, complete the assignment found under number 3. Make sure you complete your MOL in Google Classroom in addition to your assignment. Your assignment is what's going to count for your grade in this lesson. Then you will complete the lesson extension activity, which is found in Google Classroom. It involves a fun experiment. More directions can be found on Google Classroom. Again, our objective was to identify the different stages of the water cycle, which we did run through. We have the evaporation stage, movement, precipitation, freezing, water droplets form, and melting, and rain falls. So that is it for our science lesson for today. I will see you guys next week. Have a great week and keep working hard. I'm so proud of you.